Guess what? There's a serious lack of Christian video blogs out there. I'm going to start adding to that. Hopefully I can minister to you guys through this and you can have some fun. Episode 1 of 116. 116? Dang it, that's 7. So the first episode of 116 vlogs, not blogs, vlogs, is going to be my recap of Passion 2013.
But they gon' know about us. They gon' know about us. Hey, they gon' know about us. They gon' know about us. Oh, they gon' know.
First night we were there was New Year's Eve. And it was funny because we were going to watch the peach drop. The peach drop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're from Atlanta, but this is funny. The peach drop. But we didn't get to do it. And so, you know, we're walking around downtown Atlanta trying to find a place to go and trying to find a place to eat. Walking up the hill next to Centennial Park by the aquarium, and all of a sudden fireworks start going off and people start going, Happy New Year! And we're like, crap. We missed it. But it was okay, you know, we were just like, it's just New Year's Eve, it's fine. So the next day we meet up with another group from First Baptist in DuQuoin, same town as us, and had a devotion with them and spent some really reflective time in prayer there that was really eye-opening for me. And that night, Passion actually started on the 1st. Whoops, I pressed the button on my chair. Can't get up. Started Passion that night, and it was awesome. It was freaking awesome. And they didn't have to use the lights and the music and the fun atmosphere to get me pulled into it. I don't know about everybody else, but just to hear, you know, the truth in the words that we sang and the truth in the words that we preached was enough. That was enough to keep me, you know, they said all the time, lean in, keep leaning in. I was on the edge of my seat. That was enough for, whoa, wait a minute. I thought that was where I was going with that hat. I don't know. Uh-oh. If the rest of the video is messed up, it's the hat's fault. All of Monday and Tuesday, I pulled out my British accent with the group that we went with, which was funny, because most of the times when I use this accent on people, eventually they start to get tired of it, and they start to tell me to stop, and they get annoyed, and with Della, that was the case. That's okay. It was fun anyway. Most of the group loved it, and they loved, at least they told me they loved it. I've been lied to! Regardless of whether or not they liked it, I kept doing it. So when we got to our community groups, and if I was with the same people, when we got to public places and I could use it, they wouldn't laugh at me, because people always laugh the first time they hear it. When we get to our community groups after the first session, I tell my whole community group, they're all from Iowa, by the way, so none of them could have told it was fake. I go, hi, I'm Tyler, I'm from London, I'm a foreign exchange student in Illinois. And they're like, oh, that's so awesome, we're from Iowa, we should meet up. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of far away from Iowa. And I went on for like 10 minutes like that, and they totally believed me, and it was so fun. And on Monday and on Tuesday morning, we had used the MARTA, which is like the Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit A. I don't know what that last A stands for. I don't even know if that's Atlanta and the first A stands for. I don't know. MARTA. We called it Martha all week long. I'm going to go ride Martha to the Dome. Get on it, and it's fine. You know, it's just regular, easy traffic flow. And we just had a good time with it. Tuesday night, however, was a different story. 60,000 people flood MARTA from the Georgia Dome, all trying to get home at the same time, and it was not fun. After the community groups, we all got on MARTA, and it took us like 45 minutes to get back to the hotel. And when we got there, it was already like 1 o'clock in the morning, and so we have a meeting to kind of reflect on what we've learned so far. That was a typical night for us. We would be out till like 2 o'clock. And MARTA closed at 1. So, I mean, it was, or 1:30 or something. But you know what I mean? It was a late night every night. And then community groups started again at 9 the next morning. And then we had our first main session in the morning, and Beth Moore talked, and it was awesome. She did a great job. She ripped that Lord's Supper in 2. No, she ripped it into 100 pieces. You know, I mean, she just... I couldn't get it. And then after that, they fed us all lunch. in the Dome. Jason's Deli. I didn't eat my sandwich because I don't really like deli sandwiches, but props to Jason's Deli on their cookies and their Lay's chips. Those were absolutely delicious, and the water wasn't bad either. But I did give up my pickle and I gave up my sandwich both days. They served the entire Dome of about 70,000 people, including the workers, in 25 minutes. I think that's quite an accomplishment. Had another main session after that. Gary Haugen talked about IJM. That was pretty cool. Moving. One of the reasons I'm trying to start an End It movement thing here. And then we had a break. We went back to the hotel and we chilled. And then Francis Chan spoke that night. I just can't. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's just so overwhelming. Seriously though, Francis was awesome. He did cry when he first got on stage, but it was fun. He was so good. I read his book Crazy Love afterwards, and it's totally changed my prayer life. I recommend it highly. Do the Bible study, do everything. I mean, this guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to God and the Bible and everything that God wants us to do for him. And then the next morning, Judah Smith spoke after community groups, and that guy, he was like, I was watching Shark Week the other day, and they're like, you know, he goes, I don't understand why all the Shark Week hosts have to scream when they do their bits, you know. He's like, we're here off the coast of South Africa, and we're gonna see if a shark, great white shark, will attack a baby seal on its own, or a group of seals. And they hold up the rubber seal, and they're like, we're gonna throw this out in the water. And so they do. And so all of a sudden, this great white shark is like out of the water. It's like, oh my gosh. It's exactly what we imagined. He went for the lone seal. He said Shark Week. And all the guys in the room were like, oh, Shark Week. The Seahawks only lost because he mentioned them. And Louis prayed for the Falcons. So, Judah, if you see this, the only reason the Seahawks lost is because you started it. Louis would have never prayed for the Falcons if you hadn't said anything about those Seahawks. Just saying. And we had the panel in the afternoon, and then John Piper spoke that night, and his sermon just went over everyone's heads. And Louis said it went to the top shelf. Hello, I'm John Piper, and I'm going to recite the entire book of Revelation. John did a really good job, though. I liked him. I'm starting to listen to his podcast now, and it's really good. But the next morning we had community groups again, and then Louis spoke, and like it just kind of ended after the song. You know, they weren't like thanks for coming to Passion, blah blah blah. They just ended it. And the guy, you know, the high school youth leader that went with us was like, you know, I was really disappointed when they stopped it, you know, and it was just kind of over. And then I realized it's not over. It's, you know, we get to keep going. That really encouraged me. I was like, hey, it's not over. I mean, there's still more to do. And so it's really awesome now that it's over. And now that we're back home, we're seeing this fire for Christ spread all over Southern Illinois. And eventually, you know, like the heartland and then hopefully the country and the world, you know, when they all meet. God, you know, God can do awesome things. Louis said all week, God can do immeasurably more than we can imagine. If you like 116 Vlogs, click below and like. Comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think, because I'd really like to keep this up. And it's really fun. But I won't just talk about myself for always. Unless you want me to. So don't forget to like and rate in the comment section below. It's totally a Ray William Johnson bit. And subscribe. Thanks.
But they gon' know about us. They gon' know about us. Hey, they gon' know about us. They gon' know about us. Oh, they gon' know.
Thumbs up for new users. Yeah. Whoops.